Starting.
Cheap loot.
Yeah. Starting. I think me and John were talking about. I think it's like 11 o'clock tonight. Woo! It'll start.
11 o'clock tonight it starts?
I think so.
Hmm.
Or no,
8 o'clock
tomorrow.
Your time, probably 8 or 9 your time.
Yeah, it's either that or tomorrow morning. 11 tomorrow morning.
Are there any Pokemon near me? Let's see what's up.
Oh, you play? I play too.
I bet you don't.
I do.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's addictive. I don't give a shit about Pokemon, but it's addictive.
It's a cool idea for a game. Like, regardless of whether you give a shit about Pokemon or not, it's a really cool idea for a game.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to try it, because I was like, really?
A game that makes you go outside? What the fuck?
Pokemon Go. I have not done any of that yet.
You should actually check it out, because, I mean, even if you're just going to go for a walk, it's a cool little thing to do, and there's like this cool kind of social aspect to it. Like, you run into people that are doing it too, and then they'll just like talk to you and give you tips and stuff. It's weird if you actually played the games on Game Boy, because that's how the life was on Game Boy. Like, you know, you'd run into people at your school and they'd tell you about something they found. Like, oh yeah, over on Route 33 I caught this, and you think they're full of shit, but you have to go there anyway because you want one of those. I mean, it's a cool idea, a really cool idea. And you also run into people that, you know, who are dicks.
Are you like super high level?
Nope, only level 8.
Yeah, I'm 7. I don't really go anywhere.
I have is a CP474 pincer.
Oh shit. Let me tell you what I got.
What Pokemon do you have?
I have, whoops, a CP, whoops, fuck. The best things that I have.
Gold, Algorithm, and Void's Edge. Fuck.
So do I.
Oh shit, I voted for the wrong shit then.
Let's do Void's Edge, I'm tired of Algorithm. I have a CP335 Pidgeot? Yeah.
Pigeon, yep.
A CP100 Venonat that's not evolved, a 224 Raticate, and a 167 Fearow. And I have I have 24, so a lot of people
I've got
have
54.
hundreds already.
It's that 474 pincer. One of the guys that I work with, he's already got like a 1600 CP Vaporeon.
Yeah, I mean, especially where you live and what route you take to work or school, or, you know, and where you work or go to school. If you have a lot of those stops near you, they have an advantage. Because I went to the smoke shop today, and there was 5 behind the store, and there was another one near the gas station on the other side. And I was like, dude, Jesus fucking Christ, I need a job here now.
Dude, whenever my girlfriend wants to go somewhere and, like, you know, hang out with like me and her kid, it's like, let's go to a park, because one of the parks in Asheville has like 8 along like a track loop that you can just walk in a circle and get over and over while catching Pokemon at the same time. Yeah. So it's just like, I can play the shit out of this game.
Which park? At
the same time while hanging out. Carrier Park, actually.
Oh, okay. I wonder. Shit. What was that park that me and Erica got married in? What was that name?
Oh, that's
in Arden.
Oh, that's Fletcher Park.
Fletcher. That's right.
That's Fletcher Park.
I want to go there and see what's there, because that's a long track. You can do a lot of walking on that. And walking incubates your eggs.
Playing Pokemon Go. There you go. you have to put Pokemon down.
Walking is how you incubate your eggs. So
I'm going with my Papa Wrath costume.
It encourages you to continuously walk.
By the way, I will note this for anybody about their eggs, if they don't know, whether you're in the stream or just in this party chat. Less than 35 miles an hour appears to be the cutoff for eggs counting as walking. So, yep, if you're driving up your driveway, or just if you ever happen to, say, get stuck behind a funeral procession, It's a good time to open Pokemon Go.
That's where it's a good thing to be in Atlanta, and being in Atlanta traffic.
Except your battery's dead by the time you get to work.
No, I got a phone charger in the car. I got a car charger.
Oh, well, there is that.
Also, in the mornings, I take Ponce on the way to school. It's a long stretch of road. And if there's no one behind me, I literally go through there at like 20 miles an hour, picking up Pokemon and incubating eggs. The speed limit's 45. So, as soon as I see headlights, I'm like, okay, time to speed up now. And that's the weird thing about it. That's why it's so weird to me, because I never got into Pokemon, but I'm addicted to this game.
Because it's more interesting than Pokemon. It turns your real life into a scavenger hunt.
I guess so. Yeah, the scavenger hunt aspect to it. That's a good way of putting it. Oh, level 1 Shane and Oryx. How
Which team did you join?
Someone on my friends list added me to the Valor group before I was able to pick a team. So I was like, yeah, why not? Plus it's red. So.
Aww.
I know
Team
you picked the blue.
Valor.
You picked the blue. I know you would.
How do you know that?
Because it's blue. Sub-Zero main. Favorite color is blue. 203s. Already.
Yep. Oh, I'm down.
I launched both of them, but it wasn't enough to get them killed.
Oh shit. I'm the only one alive with no health. Fuck.
It's just too many enemies. I should not have come down here.
No, well, the problem is everybody rushed into the middle too. That did not help matters.
True.
Because I'm not a Miko. So I can't heal all of you fucking lickety-split. That's just not how this is going to work. Looks like I'm going to come back to life now.
I will say this, I am surprisingly intoxicated for 7:30 in the afternoon.
God damn, you got a problem.
I probably do. But I'm okay with my problems.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to go into detail with it on the stream, but I'm actually going to school with someone who's become a good friend, and he's going through a very rough time because of alcohol.
Fuck, I can't.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
His life is basically falling apart.
Nah, I just got thirsty Thursdays. I haven't drank all week.
I'm just saying, man, like, don't let it get to that point. I mean, he's the same age as my dad, right? So it's been a lifelong problem of his, but he let it get to that point to where it
1203 will end me. That's awesome.
Where it's bigger than his life. Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, he's talked to me about it, and you know, the only experience I have with it is watching my dad go through it. But the great thing about my dad, though, is that he got through it. You know, he's you know, completely sober for like 15 years. And
I admire him for that, actually. I mean, because that's rough to just like not alter one's consciousness and try to go through life.
Like people sometimes, especially guys, you know, they're saying that their dad is the heroes of their lives, and I really feel that with my dad, just because of that. Like, that is so hard to do, and I mean, mad respect for anybody that can do that.
Well,
especially how bad it got.
That was harder to get over than any of the illegal drugs. Like when he was talking about rehab, Ozzy Osbourne, when he was talking about rehab, he actually said that was harder to get over than any of the illegal drugs. Was alcohol.
Yeah. It's crazy.
He actually said literally, and I quote, harder than cocaine.
Fuck.
So, you know, illegal drug, demonized in the media, demonized on TV, one of the worst things to ever happen to society. Easier to quit than drinking.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
According to someone who would probably fucking know.
Take it for someone who's done everything.
Yeah, take it from someone who's done everything. Alcohol's the hardest to quit. I mean, he doesn't have a song called Demon Cocaine, no.
But
Ozzy
see, that's
Osbourne
where
has a song called Demon Alcohol.
That's where you get into the argument, though. Is it because it's so available, or is it because it's actually more addictive?
I think it's just because that it got here first, and it was so demanded that when they tried to ban it, it created a criminal enterprise that was unlike anything this country's ever seen.
Oh, kind of like marijuana and other drugs.
It just couldn't be contained. But alcohol prohibition was even bigger because anybody could make it out of anything. I mean, you can't even keep booze away from prison inmates. They can make it in a toilet.
It's literally one of the easiest things you can make too. Like, especially after learning about fermentation in culinary schools, like, Jesus Christ, you can literally make alcohol out of anything, and it's just like,
yeah, it's fermentation. There's nothing you can't make booze from. Yeah, we're fucked.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, I might drink a little too much, but I mean, most weeks it's just my my couple days where I got time.
well, something that I agree with my dad is that he said that, you know, drinking, just like with marijuana, or just like any drugs, really. I mean, there's just some people who shouldn't drink, and if it's become a problem in your life, then you shouldn't drink.
Ooh, baller, you fucking piece of asshole! I want to punch you in your fucking dick repeatedly.
And what's weird for me is, like, at times in my life it has some problem, at times it hasn't. Like,
if it gets to the point that you literally can't stop, like you're drinking, saying, I really want to stop, but I can't, that's when you got a problem.
nah, not anything like that. It's more like, you know, usually for me it's fucking boredom. Like, it's like, I'm bored.
No, okay, think of it this way.
Or it's just,
you see your life is being ruined by alcohol, right? You drinking is starting to ruin your life, but you still can't stop. That's when you got a problem.
Yeah, it's like you've recognized that. Well, I mean, for me, I've recognized it's in the way of some of my goals. That I've recognized. Like, you know, okay.
Well, I think there's
goals.
other factors.
Alcohol is in the way of those. Even like fighting game goals, alcohol's in the way of those because I can't train. Like right now, we could run a really good set. That training would be half as effective as it would be if I wasn't drunk.
But don't you think that's kind of a cop-out more than anything? Just because, like, there's also the variable of fear of failure. There's also the, you know...
Oh,
I mean,
dude, that's totally true,
factors.
because literally at work today I was thinking, like, okay, I've got this new character I'm starting to build confidence in. I literally don't want to play it against people right now because I don't want it blown up before I built enough confidence in it.
And that's where you'll always fail, though. You have to be willing to do it. If you're not willing to do it, to be proven wrong, how are you going to prove yourself right? How are you going to prove yourself wrong or right if you don't test it?
Well, actually, was it you that shared that Peter Dinklage address, the graduation address?
That guy is fucking inspiring, man. Like, Jesus Christ.
It was you that shared that, right?
Oh yeah, I share almost anything from him.
Oh, dude, that nailed me, because, like, where he was talking about, like, giving yourself, like, permission to fail.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, that really does hit it. That really hits my fucking issue with just about everything, is I do not give myself permission to fail. Permission to fuck up until I get it right. Instead, like, I fuck up and I just quit, because I've lost at that point. Like, I'm done right there.
The only time you really lose is when you stop trying. I mean, that's corny as shit, but that's the truth.
It is. It's one of those things. That's one of those things. Like it sounds like bullshit, but it's actually real shit. Like,
I mean, think about it. How are you ever going to get better if you don't know what or if you're doing something wrong? Like something just as easy as fighting games, right? Or something as simple as fighting games, I should say. You never know. Like, you could be 100% comfortable with Ermac. Now, I know this because I've experienced this, where I am 100% confident in a character, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I know this character through and through, until I try him against a human. I'm like, I know nothing, but I know what to fix. I know what to change. So you have to do that. That's what the whole phrase of learning, you have to know how to lose before you know how to win, comes from. I mean,
Yeah, and that's still where I'm at mentally. That has been my biggest hang-up, because I mean, if you ask me my honest opinion of myself, while I'm loose enough to say it, I think I've got the potential to do just about anything, at least gaming-wise.
Well, anybody does.
But mentally, my hang-up is where it's like it is this huge mental hang-up where I just it reaches this point where I'm just
anybody
I suck, and
anybody can do anything. The difference is
moment.
Anybody can do anything. The differences are the people who just won't quit. Just like what me and you've talked about before. Like the people who are too, like, quote unquote, too dumb to quit. Those are the people who see everything through.
I mean, even the people who were too brave to quit. I mean, damn, my hero, like Muhammad Ali, you probably have like a stream where I'm getting all emotional about that shit. But
I think
like
so,
my
actually.
damn hero, that dude. If you were streaming the night that he died, you have one. But
I can't remember if I was streaming or not.
But you know, he was literally told by the people at that gym that he went to the first time, "You suck, don't come back." Like, that wasn't their direct words, but they told him not to come back.
Yeah.
That he was not going to be a fighter. They told Muhammad Ali not to come back, that he'd never be a fighter.
I mean, that's happened countless
Fast
times
forward-
throughout history.
Fast forward 4 or 5 years later, that dude has won an Olympic gold medal. Fast forward 10 years later, that dude is heavyweight champion of the world. Fast forward 50 years later, that dude is renowned as the greatest heavyweight fighter of all time. A
Mike
civil
Tyson.
rights leader, and nope, he's better than Tyson. I'm sorry.
There's
Do
those
you
people,
really
man.
believe Tyson's better
No.
than him, or are you troll dating me?
No, but there's people that do believe that, though. Like,
Okay. I'm not. I was gonna say, because
I don't give a shit. First of all, I don't give a shit who the best fighter in the world is. If you're brave enough to go in there and fight basically to the death, the only thing keeping you from death is a fucking referee, then yeah, I have mad respect for you anyway. I don't care if you suck.
Oh, I got mad respect. I just know who I think is the best, and there's reasons that the same reasons he beat George Foreman is the reasons he would destroy Tyson.
Right.
Because anybody who could deal with his head movement, which you ain't gonna beat Muhammad Ali with head movement. I'm sorry. Anybody who could deal with his head movement, and anybody who could stand up to his offense, were the cruxes in Tyson's, dominance. And damn it, I was trying to knock that brute out before I had to run. But anybody who could deal with Tyson's dominance, and it's demonstrated over his career, you're not going to knock the man out. He got hit by anything George Foreman could throw at him in the rope-a-dope fight, or in Rumble in the Jungle. And he got his jaw broken and got up and fought 12 rounds. If dude can fight 12 rounds with a broken jaw, he's probably not able to be knocked out. You probably can't knock him out. So that avenue of winning is out. In my head, that avenue of winning is out for Tyson. You're not going to knock him out. You'd have to kill him. So when you get down to that, it's like, okay, then he has to outbox him and outpoint him. You're not gonna. It's just not gonna happen. Not a young one.
I think the funniest thing listening to people debate on who the best heavyweight of all time was the Ali haters, as I guess you could call them. They're always like, yeah, but was he the most technical fighter of all time? I don't give a fuck if it's effective or not. Shit worked. I mean, like, it's hilarious.
It's like, oh, was he the most technical? Well, define technical. Does technical mean it's hard to do, it's slick and it works? Because if that's the truth, then apparently for Muhammad Ali, dropping your hands to your side, slipping out of the way of everything that's thrown at you, and then answering back with your own right hand and combinations is technical.
I mean, saying something like that just makes me think, okay, well, I guess Bruce Lee was the worst technical martial artist of all time, because he didn't do anything quote-unquote technical. he did it his fucking way. So I mean, but it fucking
By the
worked.
way, there are major UFC MMA guys who I believe could have beaten him in a fight.
You think so?
George St. Pierre. George St. Pierre in his prime.
I don't know, man.
GSP in his prime. Takedowns, man. Takedowns matter a lot.
Well, see, that's the thing about MMA, though.
He did study wrestling. Wrestling, but I honestly believe that like a real wrestler, like a George St. Pierre, I believe that could be very serious problems. And there is the speech where Bruce Lee admitted that he would lose to Muhammad Ali in a fight. That's actually, like, you can Google that.
I didn't know that.
He admitted that he couldn't beat Muhammad Ali. Size was one of his reasons.
I was about to say,
he was like
his size, but with the speed.
He actually, if you look it up, the person who did the interview said he was like shadowboxing it out with like footage of Muhammad Ali on a projector screen, and he was like shadowboxing against Ali, and he was just going like. And he was just going, maybe if he was my size, there were some things I could do, but
look at his reach versus Bruce Lee's reach. I mean, really.
But he said that with his size, that if Ali fought like that, there wasn't a lot he could do. And he said that even if they were the same size, it might depend on the day, because of how evasive and smart he was. He said even if this man had to fight me in the street, he's so smart. That's just a testament though. Like, who the hell, size regardless, because Bruce Lee even thought he could beat Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was his own student. So, I mean, even taking size into consideration, there were people who were that size who Bruce Lee was sure he could whoop. None of them were Muhammad Ali.
Right.
Who the fuck is down now? God damn.
Well, I'm getting 203 faster than I can get away from the 203s. And I'm right down next to our Caldarius player. Jesus! I literally just got revived and got 203'd. I'm running like hell.
Alright, where are you? Who needs, I don't have a whole lot of healing to give, but...
I'm circle strafing around this turret, killing it. But man, those are like the fun discussions though, because I mean, in reality, you never know until two dudes fight. I mean, shit happens all the time. You never know until two dudes fight. But I mean, the reality is, most of these people, they're either warriors or they're not. And Tyson had his... my problem with Tyson is it's not that I don't think he was a good fighter. I do think he was a good fighter. I mean, he's obviously a great fighter, honestly. But... and this is a huge, you know, but to that situation. The problem with Tyson is his mental game was not strong enough. When the going got rough, Tyson did not get going. Instead, when the going got rough, Tyson fell apart. You don't need to look any further than 2 fights against Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield stood him up in their first fight with a few sharp jabs and tracked his head movement. What did he do? He stopped moving his head and stood there and got tagged worse. Yep. He didn't keep with his game plan. He didn't keep with his intensity. He didn't keep with that. Instead, when it didn't work immediately, he threw what he knew and he threw what he was good at out the window.
Well, think about what he did throughout his career. I mean...
oh, exactly. He was the bully.
Why learn anything else?
He was the destroyer. He was the bully, the destroyer. And in his head, he was not aware enough to realize that one day the unstoppable force will meet the immovable object. And whenever he met Evander Holyfield, he was not prepared for somebody stopping him from doing what he wanted to do. He wasn't prepared for that with Buster Douglas.
Yeah.
Buster Douglas's reasons for winning that fight were bigger than, you know, Mike Tyson's odds. and he wasn't prepared for a man who wasn't willing to lose.
Anybody
That was
have
a decent
shards to heal this thing?
Not yet. I will soon.
All right.
He's not in bad shape yet, though.
Well, no, I'm just trying to get it up for the next part.
I think we'll be fine, because as long as I've got an ultimate, I'll jump down there and spin to win right in front of it.
Oh yeah, you're Wrath.
Yeah.
I didn't. For the longest time, I didn't realize you were Wrath. So I've been healing Wrath, and I'm like, oh, why do I keep healing you? I'm glad I was healing you.
I was gonna say, dude, I'm second in damage. I've got a shitload of kills. I was gonna say, what the hell? I've been doing my Wrath job here.
Like I said, I didn't know you were Wrath, so I don't like to heal people. I heal who I have to.
I was gonna say, I've been doing the Wrath job.
Spin the win.
But that's my issue with him, though, is like when the greats stood up to him, or even the better than average stood up to him, it all fell apart. He didn't know how to calm that and carry that, you know, ability he had through 12 rounds. He only knew how to dominate. Mike Tyson, when he didn't dominate, honestly got dominated. He either destroyed or he got destroyed. There's not too many fights where you can say that Mike, when he lost, still did good. He didn't. He got destroyed by Holyfield once, and he was about to get destroyed by him twice and made a fool out of himself in the sport. To me, that alone makes him incapable of being better than a man the caliber of Ali. To me, that alone makes him not even a top 10 heavyweight in the history of boxing, and I do mean that. Not even top 10. Not amongst the names of Jack Dempsey, Rocky Marciano, Joe Frazier, George Foreman. I mean, amongst those names, he's...
We're going up here.
Amongst the accolades of the history of that sport, he is number 12, 13, 14, somewhere in there. He's in the top 20, but he's not in the top 10.
Nobody's sending me up there with you.
Because Caldarius is down here. I'm coming now.
I don't know. That's my honest, like, documented for the world. That's my forever opinions on Mike Tyson.
We don't have everybody else.
I'm hiding and regenerating some health before I go on up. I mean, I'm hiding on the corner, so...
You're gonna have to keep hiding because they're not coming. Hold on, let us clear out this wave down here.
As long as you guys don't let them kill Wolf down there, I'm fine. Because I can I regenerate health, so I can just hide when I need to. So no worries. Unless I die during the spin to win, which I might do because I can't run. Oh, we got 10 lives. No worries. I mean, for people who are fans of Tyson, I don't really mean that as just hate. That's just my honest opinion of the man. He crumbled when the pressure was highest. So his dominance doesn't add up to crumbling when the pressure was on, because the true test of greatness is when greatness meets greatness.
He was just one of those fighters that was the best at what he did. And what he did was punch your fucking face inside out. You know what I mean? And
he's the tale of two trainers. He's the tale of the Cus D'Amato era of his career. And, you know, when he had his head movement fully intact and he had a trainer who could calm him down. And the tale of the Don King era of his career, where King had his yes men letting Tyson be a thug. And enabling him to basically fall apart at the seams, stealing his money from him. I mean, and that's why a lot of people don't respect Floyd Mayweather, but I do. And that's just because Floyd said this one sentence, and he said it openly in an interview to Don King. You stole from Ali, you stole from Tyson, you will not steal from me.
They're not going to do it.
They're not.
There's nothing even like left to do.
I'm basically in the same situation I was last time immediately because
on,
there are 5 brutes up here.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm already dead because, again, I reiterate, there are 5 brutes up here.
Shit. Yep.
Seriously?
Wait, no, sorry, 4 brutes. The other one was just a gunner.
Yeah, there's nothing for us down here.
Sorry, I don't know if Wrath can solo that on advanced. I don't know. Maybe I screwed up
that's
being
why I
too
said
aggressive.
it. I mean,
But
He dies too quickly.
No, it's not just that. It's fine. If I would have been up here with you, then I could have kept you healed, and we would have had no fucking problem with this. Instead, these guys were like, "Oh, Wrath will be fine up there. We're a bunch of fucking noobs."
And they're telling me to come down there.
no, I was popping them multiple times because. Wait, what?
What?
I was popping that so that somebody would be on the teleport to send me up to him.
I'm good. I'm already done.
Oh.
She can solo this, which is odd, but
She's kind of tanky for a healer.
AoEs, I guess. Yeah, and her AoEs are pretty damn helpful in the fact that pretty much all of them are healing. The wave heals, the ultimate heals. The only thing that doesn't heal right now is the geyser.
DPS.
Ooh, you sound really fucking weird.
Yeah, your mic's
She's
messing
not
up.
a DPS. Hello, hello.
It sounds like
you
it's getting
sound distant
disconnected.
shit. Yeah, it
Oh,
sounds
cool.
like your controller might be dying, maybe.
My internet is probably about to die, is what it is.
Why
Good
did
old
that
charter.
No, it's storming.
Oh.
Yeah, if I just drop off, it's probably because I'm in the middle of a thunderstorm.
Okay.
That's kind of horse shit, though. It storms and your internet goes out.
Yeah.
What kind of shit is that?
That's just living in the mountains, man.
It happens here too in Atlanta.
The East Coast is garbage.
Yep.
All it takes is one bad trio.
You guys should move out to the West Coast. That's where you guys should all move out.
Fuck that shit.
I kind of want to move to LA.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I know I don't.
To. No, you don't
I've
want to move to
heard
LA, but something like Washington and Oregon aren't too bad. Contrary to popular belief, Arizona is quite nice, especially if you stay in
Colorado?
places like Phoenix. Colorado is nice. I lived there.
Yeah,
when
let's
I
all-
was,
let's all move
I was
to
actually
Denver.
stationed there. I was
Can
actually
we all
stationed-
just move to places with
Colorado's
legal
nice.
weed so I can just stay stolen 24/7 and be okay?
I don't
See, that's
think.
what I'm waiting for. That's on Arizona's ballot this year. I'm pretty sure we're going to legalize it recreationally too. So
If Arizona legalizes, the rest of the country needs to just sack up. Like, that's the most conservative state in the country. So if they legalize, everybody else just suck it the fuck up and legalize your shit.
Did it not pass, or has it not happened yet in North Carolina?
No, it's still not happened yet in North Carolina. It was on the referendum last year and it failed. Like a popular vote. It failed a popular vote because these stupid hillbillies are so busy sticking their dick in goat's ass that they have no idea what's actually good for them. Or the world.
Well, see, that's the thing about North Carolina that's really weird, especially where we're from in North Carolina.
Yeah, we're
Asheville.
in an extremely liberal area.
Yeah, Asheville is very liberal, but North Carolina is very conservative.
And I live in Candler, which is a conservative area on the outskirts of extremely liberal Asheville.
Exactly.
So you talk about how conservative Arizona is, but Arizona is one of the first states to legalize marijuana medicinally. We are also the only state with with both an open carry and concealed carry without permit, and you don't even have to live in the state. You can just be passing through, and you can tuck your pistol in your belt, and nobody will give a fuck.
Wow.
Well, see, that's a conservative idea, not a liberal idea.
Should be a bunch
You
of
know,
crazy
because that's
psychopaths
the
with
Second
guns.
Amendment. That's the Second Amendment.
Second Amendment.
Man. We can swing all the lead we want.
Texas style. Texas. Texas
Which I
is
actually think
interesting,
sensible.
man.
I actually think sensible gun control is a good thing, but
what does that even mean? That's the problem.
requiring a basic weapon safety course, requiring not a psych eval, but if a person has already been deemed psychologically inept.
Okay, but why would I do that?
Disorders.
Why would I do that where I can go to like 20 different guys in my fucking apartment complex and get a fucking machine gun for $400?
Well, that's if you want to obey the law, because gun control only keeps weapons out of the hands. No, damn it, it's all bullshit.
It is bullshit. That's the problem. Is that he's like stricter gun laws? Okay, but how does that stop illegal gun sales?
It doesn't.
Just like it does. Just like taking a test to get your driver's license. That doesn't stop people from driving without a license. My dad hasn't had a license for almost 20 years. He drives every fucking day.
See, the funny thing is, all these crazy
never got pulled
fucking
over.
incidences that happen with guns,
Never got caught.
most of them happen somewhere else, not here. We don't have a bunch of crazy, nonsensical fucking shootouts and shit in Arizona, and everybody owns a gun. Kind of funny that way.
Yeah, but see, that's also weird. Is like they say like to defend yourself, right? Which makes sense. It does make sense. But at the same time, you know who has the lowest murder rate in the world? Japan, who has a no tolerance law for guns. I mean, that's why it's so
Japan
fucking
also
tricky,
doesn't have
man.
our population problem and our racial diversity problem.
Tell that to Tokyo.
Well, okay, I won't say racial diversity problem. It doesn't have our racial tension problem. The diversity isn't the problem. It's
No, I
tension.
meant the population. That many
There's no
people
problem with
stuck that close
diversity, there's a
together.
problem with tension.
Don't try to heal me here. You'll die, Caldarius. Don't be an idiot.
How did a Skaven just deal 900 damage?
Skaven are ridiculous
That's what
and
they do.
advanced.
It literally, I had a shield, I was running away from it, and it killed my shield and my health.
Oh, motherfucker. Oh shit. Oh, I'm gonna die. Not yet, I'm not. I need to build these fucking things up.
Immune.
Looters are up.
Oh shit,
Yep.
I'm on a warden.
I really don't think it's as simple as both sides of the argument. I think there's a lot of variables that go into guns.
It really is. I mean, the argument there is so, it's so varied because, I mean, what are you gonna do? Like, make everyone get certified? There's really no way to get rid of this. And if you take it away from the common person, you really leave only the criminal and the government armed. So the populace stands in the middle with the criminal pointing the weapon at them and begging the government to protect them. And that doesn't seem okay to me. That's how I feel it leaves the main populace. It leaves them between the police officer's gun and the criminal's gun, begging the police officer to protect them from the criminal. And it's so, that seems so sketchy to me. It seems so vulnerable for the common human being in a world that is so dangerous and so filled with prejudice, and clearly so, you know.
We're not going to get it. Back up.
I'm not able to back up. I have almost killed the other one. Damn it.
Oh, there's one more. Fuck. I got the one that you were after, but there was still that one all the way in the back corner.
Ah, fuck.
Just force respawn.
Yep.
I thought you'd last longer.
And
How's
man,
that?
you know what the thing I hate more than anything? More than like the gun control argument, more than any of the political arguments, I hate what the media does. I hate how they turn every single thing. They turn every dead body, they turn every incident into this grandstanding agenda bullshit. They don't focus on the human factors involved at all. They treat one side like the victim, and then when the other side retaliates, they treat the first side like the victim, and then when that side retaliates, they treat that side like the victim, and they just fuel this victim mentality and this collectivist idea that, you know, it's us against them over and over again, and they flip-flop back and forth between which us we're supposed to be supporting. And they forget that it is one fucking world, it is one fucking human race.
One consciousness, bro.
I guess at the end of the day what I'm saying is team people, bitch!
Team people.
It's the official hashtag, team people. Team people. And also Team Mystic.
God. I really don't give a shit.
Me either.
Alright, if we don't get gold with that score.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't know what my other score is, but
Me neither.
that's a damn good score.
I tried to get all the hidden chests that I found, or could find. I like to apologize for the nerd fest that happened with the fighting and the gun control. Oh fuck,
yeah,
it's
we're
still silver.
for all this nerdy shit. We don't want to talk about anything. Hang on, guys. What's not nerdy that we can talk about?
Oh, I don't want to.
Yo, today, guys, I lifted weights. I'm not going to talk about how much, because then I'll be a weightlifting nerd. And then I had some food. I'm not going to talk about what food, because then I'll be a food nerd. So...
I mean, you gotta watch out nowadays. Someone's upset because they feel excluded.
Oh, fuck. I don't want to be excluded. Then I'll be the excluded nerd.
Alright, I just have to do one more match, and I'll have mastery for Shannon Oryx.
Well, thank God, because I'm tired of playing with that thing.
I'm tired of playing with it too, man.
Because, seriously,
I want
you
the
are
boulder
way
back.
less effective. You are way less effective as this character.
Oh, really? Let's look at this here. Let's see where I was.
It doesn't matter. Whatever the hell you were doing with whoever else you've been playing has been more effective than that character.
You took the most damage. You were third in damage dealt. Number one on score. Number one on kills. I see. That looks pretty effective.
I took the most damage because you guys sent me up solo twice.
Hey, I tried to go up there, and I
Oh,
kept
look at
you
this.
alive.
I know you
Look at
tried.
this. 0 respawns. You had 5. All right, let's do like a normal one just so I can get that fucking shit and be done with it.
That gold. That motherfucking gold.
That gold. Still didn't get gold on that fucking thing. What do you have to do? It's crazy.
You have to be BA, sir.
I guess so.
You have to be BA, and you have to play Xenoverse with Way and I, so we can have a 3-man team and go wreck shit. That's what you have to do. Hey, Renegade, there it is.
Oh, I already voted no preference.
I thought you needed Renegade Gold. Why did you pick no preference?
Because I'm dumb. I'm dumb.
You fucking fool.
John, pick Renegade.
It doesn't matter what he picks. It's a Renegade anyway.
It's true. Where did he go? He's not talking.
What?
Quit.
I was sharing a wonderful meme with you on your Facebook.
Oh, how cute of you.
Because I know what team you're on now, so I had to share a great meme with you.
Oh, God. Is it how I'm a blood and you're a crip? Because I've seen
Nope.
it.
No, and actually they made peace recently while the whole world was obsessing about other shit.
What?
Even the Bloods and Crips are like, you know what? This is just fucking
No,
stupid.
they literally, like, after the last shooting, those last 2 shootings, the Bloods and Crips agreed to make peace and stop killing each other. Yeah, that happened before,
Dude.
you know, legal weed.
What? The fuck?
Don't worry, it's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be the same thing, just like with gay marriage. Like right now, Colorado, Washington, and Oregon all have weed legalized.
You mean that thing that
One
they
or two-
passed to take publicity over the media so they could sign a fucking bill that was bullshit?
Yeah. So one or two more states. I believe full-heartedly that we here in Arizona will legalize it this year. And then I think maybe one more state, and then the federal government will step in and be like, all right, well, it's legalized nationwide. So we can take fucking, you know, so we can be the good guys here. We can be the ones that literally
Now-
gave tens of thousands of jobs to people who had none and fixed our economy literally all in one go.
What
with one
about
act.
what about the higher living expenses in places like Denver because of legalization? There's actually a negative side of legalization, at least as far as Denver.
That is
Yeah, well,
happening as
well,
a
cool
symptom of
fucking
only
Colorado.
one state legalizing while the whole rest of the country didn't.
See, that's what I thought too.
Because you know, Colorado though, in 1 year they pulled themselves out of the red and into the green because of legalization. So,
Yeah.
you know, cost of living getting a little higher for a state to pull itself out of debt and fix itself pretty much in a year's worth of time after legalization is worth it. I will pay a little bit more to be able to go down the street to my local gas station and pick up a fucking pack of Marlboro Greens and fucking sit on my back porch and light up a doobie and nobody can do shit. Nobody. No cops,
See, I still
no
don't want a
nothing.
pack of Marlboro Greens.
But see, the only way they could do that is if they make it
I
federal.
want a fucking big-ass vaporizer full of the best shit.
They could have all 50 states, even the bullshit 51st state, legalize marijuana. But until it goes federal, they could, if they want to be assholes, the DEA could still come in and arrest you.
Supreme
yeah, but
Supreme Court just did a ruling.
Oh, he did.
A few weeks ago, the Supreme Court ruled that if a state decrees it legal, the federal statute cannot be enforced in that state.
Okay, then why not
That the
just make
state
it
has
legal
jurisdiction.
federally? Doesn't that
Because
make
that
more
would
sense?
be the admittance that the war on drugs was stupid.
Oh, like the prohibition was stupid.
Or
I
at
mean,
least or at least the war on that drug is stupid.
The war on drugs in general is stupid, and I could get into that for different reasons, but the war on marijuana specifically is more stupid. They're all stupid because prohibition doesn't stop things. Treatment stops things that are really problems. A war on the drug itself will never do it. You won't stop something I could make in my kitchen from being a powerful selling drug by making it illegal. There's too much money and too many people who can make money in too many different ways for that to ever be a true solution.
okay,
Just
but
making it illegal.
right, okay, but there's still the problem of okay, it's not really a problem because there's the argument's been made like how high the taxes are for marijuana, right? And that hasn't that been a thing?
Yeah, I would pay the tax. I would gladly pay those taxes to no longer, have to have it and then drive home, and it's in my car, and I gotta look in my rearview mirror, and I gotta wonder if the thing that makes me feel relaxed, focused, calm, and happy, yet still completely functional, is going to land me in jail.
Okay, but right, but they said they raised the what am I trying to fucking say? The tax on cigarettes, supposedly to try to get people to stop smoking. I don't know if that's the real reason, but
No, it's because I can't.
didn't really work. I mean, smoking has gone down a lot, but I think that's more of an education thing than a taxation thing. Like people are more
I would say
aware.
that's I would also say that that's an e-cigarette thing.
Oh yeah, that could be
There's
too.
that.
But
I mean, and then there's people like me who grew up in the, the cancer education generation, and I mean, well, okay, I'm a different case slightly because I got it hammered home for me big time by a relative with cancer and getting to like actually watch what that's like.
Right.
And their doctor told them literally with the kids in the room, they told them this is the kind of cancer that smoking for a lifetime creates. Straight up told her that right in front of us, and then I watched what happened over the next like 8 months, and I was like, nope, 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 nope. If this causes that, then nope.
see, as horrible as that was, horrible of a situation for you and your family member. I mean, I wish I had that moment of like realization. I mean, I knew cigarettes were bad, and I was 19 when I started smoking, and I didn't start smoking because of peer pressure or anything. I started smoking because I was a fucking manager at fucking Pizza Hut. That's why I started smoking. But but even with my parents growing up with my parents saying, "Don't start smoking," blah blah blah, but in the same breath lighting a cigarette, so it's like, well, why? I knew it was bad for you, but I guess it didn't impact me like it did for you, seeing that.
I mean, nothing will impact you like somebody going, "Don't smoke," who loses like 56 pounds. I think it was 56. It might have been a little less. Might have been 53, 54. But loses that many pounds, almost 60 pounds. Let's just be real here, almost 60 pounds in an 8-month time span, and goes from being a vibrant person who is water skiing at the lake with your family to looking literally, this is not one of those moments where I say literally ironically like half our generation does, to looking literally like someone stepping out of an Auschwitz concentration camp. Like, you can count their ribs, they're shuffling across the floor, they are emaciated, they are literally dying right in front of your eyes. And you got to be in the room when the doctor tells them this is because they're a smoker.
Yeah. But
so there's no coming back from that. It's just like, I can literally, to me, like, I've made the joke before, I've called cigarettes cancer sticks. They literally are cancer sticks to me. That's all I can see.
Right, but see, I grew up in a different way. Just like there's that thing that I just mentioned, but being an addict, and as addicts do, they justify their actions. Actually, everybody in my family, but my grandmother specifically, my grandmother smoked Misty, the cigarette brand Misties?
Mm-hmm.
She smoked Misties 120s for decades, multiple packs a day for decades. Never had cancer. And it's just like, well, she didn't get cancer, maybe I won't get cancer. I know it's fucking bullshit, but that's my addict's mentality.
Yeah, like, even if you were aware like 2% of the population might be immune to cigarette cancer.
Right.
You're like, oh, well, I'm definitely in one of the 2%.
Yeah, I have to be.
I'm 2 out of 100.
I'm immune to cancer. Like, that's the stupidest thing ever.
I don't have it yet, and I smoke every day, so it's not going to happen.
Well, I don't smoke nearly as much as she did. Like, I know that kind of doesn't matter, but it also kind of matters. Like, I couldn't smoke two packs a day if I tried, dude. I would. Jesus Christ! If I smoke a pack a day, I'm like, oh my god, no more.
Well, if you smoke a pack a day, that's 1 an hour, right?
I would guess.
I mean, roughly.
If you smoke 2 packs a day? No.
No, a pack a day. A pack a day would be like 2 an hour. 2 packs a day would be like 2 an hour.
Yeah, I think you're about right. A pack a day is about a cigarette an hour.
It's maybe what, 20 a pack, right?
Maybe a cigarette and a half. Because I used to
20 in a
smoke
pack. So, I mean, assuming you sleep 4 hours a day, pack a day habit means you're going to smoke at least 1 an hour.
But I don't.
So if you're smoking two packs a day, that means you are literally burning down a cigarette every 30 minutes. Dude, back MK9 days you did. Like, you would light one between every set.
That I know. That's a product of the high stress situation, though. Like, being in a match competitively, or the competitive mentality. It's like it's fucking stressful as shit.
And you know the weird thing about it is like nicotine is actually helpful for your brain.
Yeah,
It's actually a very, very helpful thing for your brain. I've actually heard of people who are like doing scientific research and stuff chewing that nicotine gum to get the nicotine without the cigarette stuff because they're trying to get a little more focus and relaxation, but they don't want to smoke.
Right.
Or have you ever watched Sherlock?
Cumberbatch.
The BBC, yeah, the BBC Sherlock.
Of course, I love that shit.
Dude, I love that. Where he's laying on the couch and it's like, why are you wearing, why are you wearing the patch? It's a 3-patch problem.
I love that show, dude.
Yeah, that is, I arguably my favorite BBC my favorite BBC show. I might love it more than Doctor Who.
I can't say that.
I said might.
It might be true, but I can't say that confidently. Now, Reaper,
like if you discount
we can't be
Doctor
the only
Who's
two
legacy,
talking now. Come on.
You guys are talking about crap I don't care about.
He needs to apologize for our nerd discussion now.
I apologize.
I apologize. No. I apologize for these two fucking nerds that just won't stop.
It really is. We all have to like apologize for different nerdiness. We're all apologizing for the nerdiness we don't personally understand.
Well, gun control, I've talked about that so much that it's one of those things that it's like, there's no point. Like, I've talked about that so much, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
It's a no-win battle. I mean, it really is. Someone's gonna lose. Someone's gonna be butthurt. You know, there's gonna be extremists in every fucking thing in the entire world. So.
Well, for some of us, butthurt is slightly pleasant. So.
Shut up, John.
I was talking about me.
That was really weird. I like teleported.
And now you guys are talking about smoking, which is fine. It is what it is. I mean, you know, people are gonna do what people want to do, regardless of what they're told, regardless of what they're taught, regardless of what they see. I was that way. My grandfather died from, you know, lung cancer. So, and he smoked, you know, probably a pack to maybe 2 packs of cigarettes every single fucking day. You know, he died when I was 11. You know, probably 2 or 3 years before I smoked my first cigarette, yet that didn't stop me from smoking cigarettes for almost 10 years. Yeah. Like, people are going to do what people are going to do. There's nothing in this world that's going to stop that. You know, you saw something horrible and you decided and chose that you were never going to go down that path. But
yeah, I saw it and I was just like, no, there are a billion ways I could go, and that can't be it. That was literally how I felt. I was just like, I literally was looking at it like, I mean, even to this day in my adulthood, I look at it, it's like, you know, okay, I'm going to die. That is a fundamental reality of existence. But not that way. That's my choice. It's like, that's not how. Like, it's not going to be that.
And also,
you know, really,
as an addict, I also think about the times of people who were crazy health nuts and ended up dying of cancer anyway.
Well, we're still addicts. You realize that, right? Like, this right here, what we're doing, this is addictive.
Oh yeah,
we all have addictive personalities. It's why you guys, and now me, you guys have been playing this for hours. Hours and hours and hours on end. Because it's addictive. Yep. It's addicting, and you guys, as well as I, have addictive personalities. Clearly. Otherwise, we would not be playing this still.
Yep.
Like, well, it's also entertaining. It's stimulating areas of our brains.
Cigarettes can be entertaining and stimulating and feel great. Everything. Anything that anybody can ever become addicted to, can be said about.
Yep.
That is very true. I mean, for me, my work for the day is done. I opened my store this morning. I, you know, did my business for the day, and then I came home at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I looked for a way to have fun, and this is the fun I found. I mean, to me, like, a true addiction, it gets in the way of either A, your health, or B, your life. And,
well, that's when an addiction becomes a problem. It's still an addiction.
Yeah, exactly. That's when addiction, because, for instance, you know, you may be addicted to Okay, drinking, for instance. You drink a lot.
Oh,
That's
definitely.
pretty clear to me.
I am definitely an addict.
But it's not a
opinion.
problem. It's not a problem. You still work. You still carry on with your everyday life. You're not fucking, you know, some fucked up hermit who can't leave his house, who's fucking dying slowly but surely, but won't stop. I mean,
I've seen those guys.
So, yet you're still an addict. It doesn't stop you from being addicted. You're just controlling it.
I look at my schedule for a week and what I've got to do and who I need to do it with, and I go, where have I got time to tie one on? You know, where have I got time to take a good afternoon and drink some beer? And for most weeks it's Thursday. It's like, okay, the girlfriend's working in the evening, I work in the morning, I've got nothing to do but video games in the afternoon. I could find something to do, or I could take that as my moment to throw some back. So, like, Thursday becomes my drinking day. Like, it's just simple as that. Because for me, it's something I enjoy. But at the same time, it probably is an addiction, because why would I make time for it if it wasn't important?
But again, it's an addiction that you control. Otherwise, it would be a problem. It would stop being an addiction, and it would become a problem. You know, anybody who goes to an AA meeting, your drinking has stopped becoming an addiction, and it has become a fucking problem. Hence, you being at AA.
That's true. I mean, if it was like, you know, Tuesday night, and I've got to open at 5 o'clock on Wednesday morning, and I'm drinking like a fish at 2 o'clock in the morning, then I got a problem, because I'm literally setting that up to get in the way of the things I need to do, of my business, of, you know, my life.
My dad works with somebody who every day on his break goes out in his truck and smokes a six-pack. Or drinks a six-pack.
I actually ran into somebody who used to be a produce manager for Bilos. I was like, oh yeah, you probably worked with one of my friend's dads, and she didn't give me your name, and I was just like, well, his name's Mark, and she said his last name, and I was just like, yep, that's him. She's like, rode a scooter, lost his license, kind of an out. I was like, oh god, I didn't expect you to drop that.
Whoa.
Like, so she knew, like, apparently, like, the store must have either known his personal problems or she knew him well enough to know him. But she didn't give me your name, so I couldn't give it to you. See, it was somebody who was a produce manager for Bilos, like, 12 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, Dad used to drive a scooter when he thought he was going to get his license back, until he was like, fuck it, ain't worth it. Because, like, even still, after as long as it's been since he lost his license, as long as it's been since he's drank, he would still have to get that stupid breath thing for his car to get his license back. Pay all the money.
That, doesn't it go away in like a few years? Like if you never fail it.
Oh yeah. It's a temporary thing. But even after all this time, he would still have to pay the money to buy the device, pay to get it installed, even though he hasn't had anything to drink in decades. And
yeah,
he sees that as stupid and a waste of time and money. So he just drives without a license.
Yeah, that was the very first thing she said, and I was like, oh, didn't expect that to get awkward. Because I was just like, oh, you probably know my friend Mark. My friend's dad, Mark. And she was like, Mark, blah, blah, blah. And he used to do, but I was like, oh, well, that got awkward. That wasn't what I was talking about, but okay.
How's it going, man? Hold on a minute. Stream, just so you know, I can't read your text or your messages. I have it set to where it does the voice bullshit. So if you say anything and I don't respond, it's because I couldn't hear you or understand it. But I did hear that one. How are you? I'm sorry. Continue.
But no, that was the summary of that conversation, because literally I saw somebody, I was like, oh, I got a grocery connection to make here, and then that was the first thing out of their mouth. I was like, oh, never mind. That wasn't what I thought you were going to say. That was what I wanted to talk about. That's awkward.
It's weird, man. I mean, everybody loves my dad at work because he works like a fucking horse, but he also doesn't take any bullshit, and he's not afraid to tell you. He's not afraid to call you on bullshit. He's like that with his family members, friends, people he barely knows. So that rubs some people the wrong way, you know?
But that's why I like him.
Right.
I would rather somebody look me straight in the eye and go, yeah, you're full of shit and kind of a retard, than they're like, yeah, you're cool, and then go look at everybody who's walk over there and he's full of shit and kind of a retard.
See,
I would rather somebody look me right in the eye and tell me I'm full of shit than...
See, I don't do that, though. Like, I didn't get whatever gene that is. Like, if I think you're full of shit and I don't know you very well, I'll just fucking walk away.
But it's obvious. It's obvious when you don't like someone.
I know.
It's all over your face.
I know. That's something I did get from my dad. I can't hide my emotions for shit.
I tell people. Hence,
apparently I don't have to tell people.
Runway's argument. Hence us going back and forth for hours and hours on end. Because I can't. I won't just like stand by and let someone fucking me and Runway. Like I just can't stand idly by and let somebody run their fucking mouth, talk shit. I just can't. I can't do it.
Well, he was just drunk and said the wrong shit. He's not like that all the time. He's really not.
Yeah, but again, you were not privy to our conversation after you left, which lasted.
I can't believe he took it that far. I really can't. I mean, I can't say can't believe, because I do believe. It's not like I think you're lying, because can't believe would be like, oh, well, I don't think you did that. I can believe, but I guess the right word would be I'm incredulous. I'm like, fucking really, dude? I know you're so cool, and right after you meet somebody who's also cool, you take and just act like a total fucking putz. Like, why? Fucking why act like that? There's no reason to act like you don't know what civilization is. There's no...
Some people like to... I think some people also, and I think clearly Runaway is one of them, some people like to just push. They like to see how far they can push somebody.
Yeah, that's it. They like to see what the fuck they can get away with. And
especially
fuck everybody else, fuck everyone's feelings.
All the chaos! Kill everything!
It's all about what can I say, what can I get away with. And he actually does hold those opinions, but I think at times he realizes that even he is like a little crazy. He's like, dude, everything is not a conspiracy.
Oh shit, people are
It's
dead.
like one of those people that, like, I was talking to one of those people, like, at work. I've got a 9/11 truther on my, at my job, if you know what I mean. One of those people that believes the United States government committed 9/11 as an excuse to go to the Middle East to start war. It is fucking nonsense. I'm aware of that.
I hate
I've got one on my
stock
stock crew, and they're like, jet fuel can't melt steel beams, man. There's no reason that plane should have brought that building down. They engineered it to withstand a hit by an airplane. Okay, cool. Did you look up the actual plan where they said it could be hit by an airplane? They said it could be hit by an airplane that was empty of passengers and cargo. In other words, they were preparing it for someone to use a fake airplane as an attack that wasn't loaded with people, full fuel, and cargo. So in other words, what it was prepared for and what it was built to withstand is not what the fuck it was hit with. Which you know, and everybody who's sane knows. But these people, they latch onto these things and they don't even finish the fucking research. I mean, I'm all for a good, well-researched conspiracy theory. If you can find some good shit that's well-researched and deep, well, by all means, let's think about and talk about that.
Well, there's a problem
if you just fart out some garbage that ignores the fact that that building was hit by a multi-ton object high on its center that was loaded with flammable materials, and think that it's bullshit that a building that took that kind of damage fell down and had to be demolished later, then you're a fucking idiot.
I think we know where your stance is.
Well, I mean, it's not that it couldn't have happened. It's just that every theory I've been presented with is clearly full of ass shit. So,
well, there's a problem with conspiracies in general, is that this country has proven before that it is capable of those type of conspiracies, so people are like, well, if it's happened once, it can happen again, so, you know. I think that's where a majority of that shit comes from.
they take it as like this automatic validation, though. Like, okay, we have the Bay of Pigs. They take the Bay of Pigs as like this automatic validation of this thing that is completely unrelated and 30 years removed. It's like you've got no connection. You've just got, well, we did it in the Bay of Pigs.
Gulf of
Okay,
Tonkin.
I get it. But that's the God argument, right? It's like you can't prove God doesn't exist, so he must. You're doing the same thing you hate in another direction. Like you hate, like most conspiracy theorists are not super religious. They'll be like, oh well, yeah, but you can say that, but well, you're doing the same thing. Yeah, whenever I dump on your theory, you're going, well, you can't disprove it. Well, I could do that with that God argument you like so much. You can't disprove God, so he must exist.
So he has to exist.
So, I mean, just like I can't disprove your theory, so it's correct. So since you can't disprove God, he's real, right? Well, I wouldn't go exactly. You wouldn't go that far, meaning your logic is not sound.
See, me and my wife were having this conversation the other night, actually, and she's like a die-hard atheist, like definitively, there's no God, blah blah blah, right?
Yet likes Egypt.
Huh?
Yet likes Egypt. So far up the God's asses is
just like my view on religion as a whole. I don't think I'm mentally capable of understanding anything well enough to know whether it's true or not. Now, there could be. I guess you could call me an agnostic because I don't know, and You are an agnostic. You are actually a textbook true agnostic, because if I told you that, okay, I'm going to say this sentence to you and see if you hear a ring of bullshit in this or not. The universe began with a Big Bang, and, you know, atoms became molecules, and from that began life, yada yada yada. There was no creator. There is definitely nothing above this plane of existence. There is no life after death. There is no consciousness above our own. There's only what we can see, observe, and hear. And reality is defined by our understanding of what we can measure. I mean, it could be. We could also be part of a computer simulation, for all I know. I mean, I just don't know.
Does that not sound just as ridiculous and automatically dogmatic as most religions?
That's the thing, though.
To me, it is just as insane to say there can be no God.
That's the thing, though, is that someone
must be this God.
Someone will say, "Yeah, I'm an atheist. Do you believe in aliens?" Well, of course. You're not a fucking atheist, bro. I mean, yeah, atheist is anti-religion, but what proof do you have that aliens exist? You're going off faith, right? Okay, then you're not an atheist. They say,
it's like you are willing to accept faith on this plane,
right,
but you at the same time demean and throw your middle finger up to it if that faith is on this plane.
Right.
So if they put their faith in God and you put your faith in aliens, they're stupid and you're smart. Well, neither one of your theories are proven. So you're calling them stupid for doing the same thing you did. They're just doing it in a different direction.
I think as a human being, hey, don't do that. Sorry. He was fucking standing on the cat. Anyway.
Well, that can only end one way, in pain for someone.
Anyway. No. Go out of here if you're going to do that. Go out of here if you're going to do that. I'll be right back.
Roger.
It's all good. I've realized now our stream is basically a podcast. For like drunk John and you twos.
All right. What I was saying is, I think as a human being, I'm not mentally capable of deciding or figuring out one way or another until one of the other smacks us in the face with, "Yep, that's the answer." Then we're not going to figure it out because you can't figure out something that complex. One way or another.
I mean, and there is a spiritual side to life, and I feel it should be explored. I feel a person like, okay, this is gonna sound really weird. Whether you believe in God or not, I feel like you should pray. Why do I think you should pray?
Placebo
Because,
effect.
not that actually. It's just like, okay, there is this spiritual side to life. It's definitely there. So, if there is a spiritual side to life, why not explore it? I mean, talk a little bit. I mean, it's like somebody I worked with once told me, and he was a devout Christian, but he told me, he was just like, well, okay, you don't believe in him, but you think there might be something. He says, so why not test him? He said, if you believe there might be a living, you know, entity that is God out there, he said, whether it's my God or somebody else's God, he said, if you believe there's a living creation force out there, or that there might be a living creation force out there that can hear you, why not try to talk to it?
Well, I think they tried to test it one time. I believe they called it Jesus Take the Wheel Day. How many crashes were there?
Well, but actually, fuck, dude, I can actually kill that with the Bible in like 5 seconds. That's the thing.
Okay. Before you continue,
like we're
hold on. What Reaper?
Let me do this one.
I was just going to apologize to the chat for these fucking zealots over here.
But no, okay, I can I can go ahead and kill that one biblically, actually. Because, like, taking your hands off the wheel in traffic, right? That's like, okay, God's gonna do something here, right?
Do either of you want to play Galt, by the way, real quick?
I can.
I need 3 more matches with Galt.
No big deal.
Alright.
I mean, I don't know Galt, but I can play him.
I just need 3 matches. Gonna work on Melka now.
But, what was I gonna say?
Bible.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that's a broad topic, but
Let's talk about that.
oh yeah. The temptation thing. It's the thing where Satan. It's where he tells Christ to like throw himself off the cliff, and that God would not allow him to die. So just do it because he'll fix it. And he tells him, you don't tempt the Lord.
But why? That's my problem, is that I'm like, why?
Ah, fuck. You gotta connect it back to what was the original point that made me think of that?
Jesus take the wheel.
That killed it. Oh, yeah. That's what that is. That's literally like doing something that's suicidal and stupid and going, hey, God, fix it. Basically, literally what they're saying is you don't do something stupid and suicidal and tempt God to just fix it for you supernaturally.
There's just too much. There's too much contradiction. There's just too much.
But actually, that does line up. That's one of the things that does line up. Like, if there's real issues and real problems in your life and your back's against the wall in multiple places in the Bible, does God help? But, like, the self-imposed places that people put themselves into, they're on their own most times.
Well, I didn't pray to God at all while I was in Afghanistan, and I still came home alive. So.
Because he has a bigger plan for you, bro.
Oh, damn it, I gotta pee and I got 60 seconds.
I mean, how do you argue with that, right? I mean, how do you argue with that? It's like, God pulled you out of that war zone unscathed. It's like, no, he really didn't. He's, I didn't pray to him. He's like, but he has a greater plan for you. How do you argue with that? I mean, you can't really.
This will work for both of us. Because I think I still need that Galt thing, too.
Look at you and your fucking
fuck. I gotta pee.
Big spenders.
I'm leaving this on the costume select.
It's a never-ending argument, just like gun control, just like everything to do with the human race, because we're too fucking complicated and too fucking dumb to figure ourselves out.
I give it like another, I don't know, I think like 2, maybe 300 years at most, and we'll wipe ourselves out. We'll no longer be a species. And if the Earth doesn't go with us, then it'll return to the animals.
The Earth ain't going nowhere, bro.
Well, you say that, but we've done a hell of a good job of destroying it over the last 2,000-3,000 years or so.
That's another argument. That's the thing, though, is, I mean, have we really? I mean, hasn't the Earth been through worse? There's evidence for that, too.
Well, you're talking about an ice age.
Well, ice age, meteors, you know, the fact
but
that
all of that is, I get all of that you would essentially claim is natural, whereas everything we have done to this planet is unnatural.
Well, what about places like, what about those ancient ruins? Like, have you followed Graham Hancock at all?
No.
Okay.
Or not that I know of.
Okay. His big thing is he's basically spent his life work trying to prove that we are part of a lost civilization. As he calls it, a civilization with amnesia. Hold on a minute. Jackson, stop banging now, okay?
Oh,
Is this
shit.
ancient astronaut
I'm
theory?
responding like a dick.
No. This isn't that. This is actually kind of the opposite in a way. The point of it is that we used to be a very, very advanced civilization. John, you can help me out with this because I know you know about Graham Hancock.
Yep.
His like big project that he's really known for is help me with the name of it, John. The place in Turkey.
Göbekli Tepe?
Yeah, that one. And not just that place either, but there's many other ancient ruins that are like prehistory old, but these places have remnants of radiation on the scale of a nuclear bomb, right? Now, that's not saying ancient aliens. Like I said, this is different.
This is just the theory that we've had an extinction that involved humans.
Yeah, that, you know, we've already blown ourselves the fuck up, but there was just some survivors. And we came back from it. You know,
Oh, don't worry. The Russia and the United States are working on it again. Stupid motherfuckers.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting once you think about it, right? Because especially once you really get into
those
it.
Prophecies, like those ancient prophecies, are left over from like the people who caught the oral traditions and who understood what happened, or tried to understand what happened. And they wrote about fire descending from heaven in pillars. Well, that's a fucking nuke if you don't know how to say nuke. You know?
Yeah, they may have not called it a nuke. They could probably had another word for it. But it's the point. The point is that we've already fucked up once before, and it's just
Ronan.
Yeah, I'm trying to get away from it. And that we've probably nuked ourselves before, just because of the high amounts of radiation in some of these locations.
But it also could have been cosmic. They do address that in that same podcast. They say it could have been cosmic. That radiation also would line up with a cosmic impact.
But that is a major fucking cosmic event. Like, that is bigger than what killed the dinosaurs. Big. Like...
But they do say it's possible because an ice age would have buried the impact evidence, because there has been 2 ice ages between then and now.
Right.
So the ice ages would have buried the evidence, so they do say it is possible that it's cosmic. But that at the same time, there is human tool evidence that's that old, so meaning people have been around for those before.
Mm-hmm.
So, I got a glitch. Guys, I got a glitch. Somebody protect me, because I can't even shoot.
I'm protecting you.
I'm gonna jump off the match, and I'm gonna jump off the map, and somebody revive me because
I'm right here.
Stuck in the
Do
throw
it.
animation.
Hurry.
Okay. Well, his animation to throw the chain, he just left his arm out forever. He never brought the shotgun back up.
Ronan just snuck up behind me. I'm down.
Thanks.
I'm coming.
Oh, I leveled.
I've never seen that before.
But it's all very interesting. The ancient aliens thing does have some interesting facts about it, but I think the whole as they've coined it, civilization with amnesia, is a little bit more interesting, just because it's like we were really this advanced. We were here before, and we fucked it up somehow.
I don't think we were this far. I don't think we were this far. I think we were 1900s, like early 1900s, and we fucked it up. I think we fucked it up right at the beginning of the nuclear age.
Okay, but that's also taking into account of ancient monoliths that have no explanation on how they were built.
We could build that shit now. That's already been debunked.
Not the way they supposedly did it.
Not the way they supposedly did it, but the way we think they have to have done it.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's the argument, though, is that if we can't build it the way they supposedly did it, then how did they do it?
Oh, well, they did it the way they had to have done it. It's just that I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. I see what you're saying. It's why Graham Hancock's right. But I don't think their civilization reached the point we're at now. I think their civilization died at the Cold War era.
I just don't know.
I think the Cold War went hot for them.
I don't know.
I think two nations had nuclear power and could not achieve peace. But dude, what if this really is all a simulation running itself over and over, trying to see if humanity can achieve peace? What if this is a game one person is playing in another universe, trying to achieve victory, and we're just in run number 6 or 7 of his, and he's trying to get it right this time, and that motherfucker is looking at Trump, Hillary, and Putin and going, holy fuck, how do I salvage this?
And I didn't quick save. Fuck!
And the game's name might be Save the Stupid. How do I save the stupid from what they voted for? I mean, fuck. And what if those of us that are on the fringe, what if we're starting to slowly plug in? What if we are some other civilization's next level of AI? Just because we figured out we're sentient.
I mean, it's very possible. I mean,
fuck, what if we're Skynet? What if we're some tiny little wiring piece of a bigger subconscious in another universe that just this little piece of it's sentient? I mean, fuck, that's deep.
I mean, it is. That's why a lot of people don't want to talk about it. I mean, that's why, like, you get the person, like, I'll talk this with anybody, right? I love deep shit like this. But I have talked to some people that they want nothing, they don't want to talk about it. Because, you know, I guess because they can't find an answer. And what's the point if you can't find an answer? And, you know, or they just shake their head and say, that's impossible. Well, how do you know, man? You know, just you know, just 100 years ago, it was impossible to go across the world in a matter of hours.
Yeah, there's the man who's famous forever, Chuck Yeager, because he did it. He did it once, and it took him almost a full day. To go across this whole world.
I like how there's no cooldown time for their cross slash.
Yeah.
I love that.
Simulation theory is interesting, though, just because the physicists are actually starting to find evidence for that. It's like, whoa. Like,
I'm starting to believe in it.
I mean, it kind of...
why there's a God.
It kind of makes sense in a way, in a lot of different arguments, but in different arguments it doesn't make sense, so it's just like, what the fuck?
I can tell you where I am, like, with my personal journey of spirituality and reality, which is probably going to get shaken up in a few weeks whenever I finally get to take some damn mushrooms.
What?
But,
No, you're doing this without me, right? Is that what you're doing?
Mushrooms? Yeah. Probably. Am I supposed to wait on you?
We made a pact together. No, you don't have to wait
really?
on me. No, I'm joking.
I was gonna say, did we really? Because if we did, I'll wait. But
No.
you better be moving back here.
No, I have wanted to just find out what the fuck is up with them, especially, you know, doing it the right way.
Yeah, that's how I want to do it, and that's why I'm on the fence about whether I'm actually going to do it, because the person who can get them for us is so damn weird that I'm like, maybe not.
Well,
I want to do it in like a really clinical setting. Like I want to do it in like a map setting. I want to do it like somewhere like really clinical, where like they monitor your, you know, your. Like I want somebody to like monitor my heart and my breathing, and let me know I'm okay, and then let my brain do what it needs to do. They can even monitor that. I don't care, and study it, but I'd love to do it at a place like Maps where it's controlled.
Yeah. Well, it's actually illegal in this country to do that even for study purposes, I believe.
No, it's not. Maps is in this country. It just depends on the state. Maps is an institute in this country.
Okay.
Doing study on psilocybin for the treatment, mainly actually, how they got their big grant was PTSD.
Gotcha.
Because psilocybin shows huge promise in the PTSD fields.
Right.
Because it literally breaks down psychological barriers, so you have the opportunity to talk to someone without them literally re-experiencing what they've been through. They can talk in a detached way. Like, it literally can break that psychological barrier of trauma and allow them to speak as if they were never part of the trauma that has afflicted their life.
I actually was... I mean, I've talked about this before with you, John, I believe. Me continuing school after culinary school, because, you know, only me, I could go to culinary school and discover I want to go to school for something else. That's actually one of the reasons why I really want to get into psychology, because I would love to do those studies.
You'd be a great psychologist. Now,
Well,
like,
it's not...
you got this ability to like sit back and like not judge people and.
But that's not.
Respect their shit.
When someone like I was telling my dad about it, and you know, just like I mentioned before, Dad will speak his mind no matter what. Fuck you. Hold on. Sorry. Anyway, it's not in the sense that like I want to be a psychiatrist. Like that's completely different. What I wanted to, and I you know, I don't want to be a therapist. I don't want to. I do want to teach, but that's not the only thing I want to do. What I really want to do is do the psychedelic studies, because I think, I mean, just like we've heard before, that there's something to it. Like there's something to be discovered through it.
Well, I would be happy to be a test subject.
You don't have PTSD.
But not just for PTSD. I mean, he could study...
That was the reason
example,
they said to get the grant.
For example, that was the initial thing they got funding for. Well, I could be a study subject for depression.
I retract that. I retract that statement. That was not cool of me. I don't know if you have PTSD.
Well, I do not. The thing I have that psilocybin has been shown to help with is actually chronic depression.
You know what helps
do not have
control
PTSD.
your PTSD though, and your triggers? Motherfucking some good old fucking ganja.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about something that helps you control triggers. Of course, you still need to be able to recognize your triggers, but holy fuck, that's better than any medication they've ever put me on.
Yeah.
And all that medication fucks me up, dude. I hate it. I fucking hate it. It turns you into a zombie and shit. I remember the first time they put me on Seroquel. God damn. I didn't even know what the fuck day it was. Ever.
At least
how are you supposed to live your life like that, you know?
Even my, like, it was so bad.
Even of this one thing, how is that supposed to help your life?
Even like Amanda would like know. Like once I took it, give it about 10 minutes, and then anybody who was talking to me could instantly tell that shit had kicked in. because my speech would slow. I would like kind of slump like into myself, and then that was that. I
It's
wouldn't
fucking
remember.
scary,
like,
man. It's like
driving to work.
it's not even meant to treat it. It's just meant to, just like.
It's meant to
Numb you
cover
out.
it. Yeah, that's it. It's a band-aid. It's a band-aid where you need stitches.
Like I know this is completely.
Damn, that was deep. That was deep.
Yeah, that was good. Like I know this is completely different, not even the same ballpark as being the same. However, when it comes to medication, in my experience, when I had my back surgery, they gave me like these super strong painkillers. It did. Yeah, you were there for that. But
Yep.
it didn't make the pain go away. I haven't had experience with painkillers before then, and not really since then, but it didn't take the pain away. It just made me not give a shit about it. And it just makes me think like it doesn't fix a problem. It just suppresses it in a way.
It numbed you out so much that you played a full match of MKX. And dear God, I've never felt so insulted in my life until I finally understood what drugs did. But he literally beats the shit out of me in MKX or MK9. And
God, it was that long ago. Oh my God.
He just looks over and like I've already lost and I'm upset and I'm on the way to the fridge for a beer. And like I look back and he's still doing shit with the controller. And he goes, "Oh, I thought I was still playing." And
I don't remember that. Oh my God, that's scary as shit.
Dude, you did that. You did that to me. And granted, it was Kenshi Sub-Zero, so you probably could have been brain dead and still won that match.
That's a stupid matchup.
But I mean,
I ain't proud of that now. Shit.
I was gonna say, dude, you probably could have been brain dead and won that match, but you had just bodied me. You just bodied me, and you're just like, and you're still going like after the match, and like you're starting a combo, and you're like, oh, I dropped my combo, and it was like putting finish him up on me. And I'm like, dude, you already won. And you looked at your control and you just went, oh, I forgot I was still playing.
Right. But the point,
and I just looked at Ryan and I was like, yeah, I just lost to that.
But see, that was the point I was trying to make, though, is that it's, you know, medication in general, as far as legal medication, it's like it doesn't fix shit. It just suppresses it.
Oh, dude, that was literally one of the best sets you ever played, and literally, I now realize you don't remember it.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, that was one of the best sets you ever played at that time period. Like at the game knowledge that you had at that time, that was one of the best sets you ever played, because that was when I still thought that match had hope.
Right.
And it later became, with that series, I could either make 4 amazing reads and baby Kenshi, or I lose. I might as well not block and give him the meter. I can either make 4 amazing reads and baby it, or I can just lose. That's all I've got.
But it's really weird that...
Why do I like that game so much? Holy shit.
But that's, but... Like I said, that was the point I was trying to make, though, is it's just weird that that's what it does.
Yeah, like, you weren't even there for it. Like, that's not even near... That's a memory I have of something you did. But you've got shit like that on me, though. I mean, like, you've got shit I've done drunk that's a memory for you that it's a thing I'm told I did for me.
Right.
4th of July 2009. There's a good example.
Yeah. I mean, Reaper, did the medication for that, I mean, could you describe it like that, or did it just...
What do you...
Like, it just made you not care?
Yeah, I didn't care about anything in the world. Nothing. Imagine, like, carrying on a conversation like we've been doing. And then... I'm trying to figure out how to exactly explain this. So, okay, when, as much as you may have hated it, when Way and I were talking about DBZ earlier, there was no way that I was going to forget my train of thought. I knew exactly what I wanted to say, how I wanted to say it, when I wanted to say it.
Right.
Now imagine all three of us are carrying on a conversation about something we are all knowledgeable about, okay? And then all of a sudden, 10 minutes into the conversation, we all completely fucking forget what we're talking about. Literally just fucking forget. And then you don't care about anything anymore. So not only have you fucking completely forgotten what the hell you were talking about, you have now forgotten what day it could possibly be. You don't care. You're not gonna remember how the hell it is you drove to work or wherever the fuck you go to.
Dude,
your
that's scary
speech
shit,
is going
man.
to become slowed to the point where people almost can't really understand you any longer. And it gets to the point where you just give up. Like, you stop talking because you can't get anything out that you want to get out anyway. So you just kind of give up.
Damn.
That sounds like the cure is worse than the disease.
That's what I say.
So the FDA approved way to deal with PTSD is to shut your fucking brain off.
Well, that's why I say it's a Band-Aid where you need stitches.
Right.
You know, like no medication, no amount of medication is ever going to... No amount of medication in the world is ever going to fucking... Because it kind of like, you know, alcoholism or something like that. Although I have my own views and thoughts about alcoholism. It's essentially the same concept. Like, it's... You know, PTSD essentially becomes a fucking something akin to a disease. Like, you're not gonna cure it. There is no cure. You can get better. You can get better at understanding your triggers, avoiding your triggers, better at even controlling yourself when you do finally trigger. But there is no fucking cure. It's not like you're gonna wake up one day and be like, well, I don't care that my best friend died in front of my eyes.
Right.
I just don't care anymore. Like, it's not. That's never gonna happen. Ever.
Right. Well,
But what if that's just like, I just had a thought, like, what if that's just like modern society trying to find names for things that are actually completely natural? Like, things that, you know, for the entirety of our evolution were kind of normal. I mean,
well,
but
what's
now
normal,
they're not.
man? I mean, then you get into the
Hang on,
conversation
but now,
of what
but
normal is.
exactly, hang on, but now they're not. Like, for the entirety of our brain's evolution, they're normal. You know, going to war, losing your best friend, these are things tribes did all the time. But for those days, it was accepted since birth. They were taught since birth that might be the reality of life. Well, now we don't teach that since birth. We teach since birth that that's not the reality of life. However, there are people who run into the fact in life that that is, in fact, still the reality of life for a lot of people.
But how do we know if they have PTSD or not?
Our service, but hang on. But do we tell these people that there's something wrong with them? That it's a disorder? In reality, it might just be the natural reaction to life and to trauma and to loss. And we tell people there's something wrong with them and they need treatment and there's something broken. And maybe there's medications that help them feel okay, and that's not a bad thing. But to tell these people that there's something wrong with them and that they're sick, what if there's nothing wrong with them and they're just experiencing the natural reactions to trauma? I mean, it's real trauma. There's no fucking getting around that. I mean, we don't tell a rape victim she's just got PTSD. Why do we tell somebody who's experienced the reality of combat that they just have PTSD? In reality, what it is they've experienced something that is beyond the grip of what society normally allows for, and it is mentally breaking with the framework we give people. Why do we tell them there's something wrong? There's nothing wrong. They're experiencing a natural reaction to an extreme stimulus. A stimulus that most people will never experience. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if you're necessarily wrong. I just think that I don't know. I'm sure that some would tell you that there's something wrong with you, but I don't know if that's necessarily the case so much as, you know, oh well, you have PTSD, there's something wrong with you. I think it was more of, and this was the this goes back to the conversation that we had with Fuckface, where, you know, every war, you know, every war and conflict that our country has ever found itself in, we have labeled it something different. Yeah. You know, now it's PTSD, where once it was battle fatigue, and so on and so forth. So
oh yeah, when initially was shell shock.
Yeah,
there's no getting around what that is. And maybe if you called it that, these people would get the treatment they need, because that sounds scary.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What I do know for a fact is that no medication, no amount of medication is actually going to help you through whatever problems that you may be dealing with. You know, severe issues such as, you know, you can label it whatever you want: shell shock, battle fatigue, PTSD, bipolar, fucking, you know, whatever disorder you want to fucking call it. No amount of medication in the world is ever going to really cure that, because again, there is no cure for things like that. You just get better. You get better and better and better to the point where it just doesn't hurt as much anymore, you know, when you think about it, kind of thing.
See, that's natural human coping. That's how everything is. I mean, not to trivialize, but I mean, that's how a breakup is. That's how the loss of your father is. That's how the loss of your loved ones,
But I think the difference with a lot of those things, and not for everybody, so I'm not trying to like live these kinds of things down. I've lost plenty of family members, and I'm sure that my father is probably not too far down the road, and that'll be a horrible fucking day for me when that happens. But these things, you know, the loss of your father, the loss of, you know, grandparents and so on and so forth, you know, you breaking up with a girlfriend, these are things that I think we as just human beings, we naturally know these things are coming. You know, your loved ones and your friends are not going to last forever. Everybody dies. But when they go naturally, it's a lot different than them being killed in front of you in a war zone. It's just it's not something that is naturally supposed to occur. So it affects us in a different way than I lost my father last week. You know, he was 86 years old and he just kind of passed in his sleep. Like, you know, not quite the same as, well, last week I was on top of some godforsaken mountain and some asshole dropped a mortar on top of my best friend and blew him to pieces. Like, fuck. That's not something that your mind is naturally going to go, well, that was meant to be. That was supposed to happen. That was always going to happen. That's just, you know, the way the world works. Like, I just don't think the human mind looks at that and goes, well, that's normal. That was going to happen no matter what.
See, I think you would have to be some kind of fucking crazy to say, well, that was meant to be.
Well, and not necessarily, because I believe very much in the fact that everything happens for a reason. Does that, good or bad? You know, hold on. Now, does that make it right? Does that make it easier to deal with and handle? Hell no. You know, but do I believe to some extent that my friend was going to die in that country regardless of what anybody did, including him? Yes, I do. You know, it was going to happen. If it didn't happen that day, then maybe the next or a month later. You know, I'm just one of those people that nothing is by chance. You know, I didn't meet the two of you by chance. You know, I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in these kinds of things. You know, I believe that everything happens for a reason in your life, good or bad. You know, for good reasons and bad, everything happens for a reason. And what that reason is, who fucking knows? That's just like saying, you know, does God exist? Who fucking knows? Is heaven there? Who fucking knows? Aliens? Who fucking knows? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. The only people that know are the dead.
I was still about to tie that in too.
The dead are the only ones who fucking know any of this. And even then, you know, for all we know, we're all gonna bite the big one and it's just a big black screen. Game over. Life done. And we still know nothing. I don't believe that. I don't believe for a moment that that's it, but maybe it is. You know, and if it is, then so be it. Now, where your whole, be a psycho, that can't hold true to an extent, for instance, if your friend died in some godforsaken, or whatever, your friend was killed in a car accident or something like that, if you just kind of brush it off and laugh about it, then yes, you are clearly a fucking psychopath, and you clearly did not care about that person. But to be upset about it,
like frame of reference for the unexpected death of a friend, not combat death. Nothing to reference that. And Sean got to see it, and it really actually fucked me up. Like, I was freshly 21, and this dude was 26. And he was a really good friend of mine, somebody who I'd given my confidence to, somebody who had basically become somebody who was really good at checking my thoughts and helping me out. And just one morning he had a seizure in his sleep because he was an epileptic. He'd had seizures his whole life, and he just happened to have one at a time when there was nobody there, and nobody to help him, and he was gone. And that led to a huge mental breakdown for me. So what it leads to whenever it's even more violent than that, and it's young and it's a friend and it's not supposed to happen, I am trying to wrap my head around it, and I can't. And that goes back to something I think I've talked to you about before, is just that the biggest thing I don't think most people understand is that they can't understand. They're trying so hard to empathize that they'll force it. And they can't just look at somebody and go, yeah, I can't understand that. I'm sorry. I've got no frame of reference. I can't, and I don't understand. Which is easier to understand than trying to force it,
Yeah, and I mean, it's unfortunately the truth of the matter in the aspect when it comes to loved ones of soldiers, that experience those kinds of things. Like, your significant other, my wife, for instance, she can sympathize with me, but she can never understand, not truly, until that happens to her. And granted, it doesn't have to be, I'm not one of these people that's sew up my own ass with this whole fucking, PTSD thing that oh, well, unless you lose a friend in combat, that's the only way you know. No. The way you lost your friend, I believe that to some extent you can understand. Yeah, your friend didn't die violently in a war zone, but he died unexpectedly far before his time. And it was unexpected for you. It was something that shouldn't have happened.
So I can connect with waking up one day and somebody that I really care about, and that I've spent time with, and that understands me as a human being and that cares about me as a human being, is now immediately gone.
Yep.
So I can understand that part, and with zero warning. So I can understand that piece. I can't understand the violence part, but you can get that I get a piece of it.
Right, and that's why I say I'm not one of these prior soldiers that's well, unless it happened in a war zone, you don't get it. It's that's not necessarily true. You may not understand that aspect of it, but it doesn't mean that you don't understand, and that you can't feel the same thing. And that's actually something that kind of irritates me when people act like that, like having PTSD and watching your friends die violently is a special thing. It's not. It's something that I wish would have never happened. I wish to this day that I didn't know what that was like. I wish I'd never seen it, never felt it, never heard it, never smelt it, because that's I remember all those things. I remember what it smelled like. I remember that day. I remember what sounds there were, who was screaming, when they were screaming, how loud they were screaming. I remember all these things. And I wish that I didn't. It's not a special thing. This isn't a club that you want to join.
that's what gets me, is like when people act like that, I'm just like, oh, why would you be like, oh, well, my shit's so much worse than your shit? It's like, there are times that I've tried in my life to empathize with people, and they've acted like my attempt to empathize is an insult. I'm like, I literally just tried to compare one of the crappier experiences of my life with your experience in an attempt to empathize on like a narrow spectrum. Not even saying that my stuff's bigger than your stuff, like that's in like their head. Like they want their stuff to be, you know, the big problem.
Right, they want theirs to be more important, and I think that the thing that they are missing, what, Raya? I am clearly talking. So I would like for you to not interrupt right now, okay, please? Thank you. I think what a lot of those people miss is that you are empathizing with the emotion. You are not empathizing, you know, or trying to say that I feel exactly, I understand the event, or I feel how you felt during that event. No, what you are trying to say is that I feel as you feel. I empathize with the feelings and the emotions you felt.
Damn, I
Not
think
how
you actually just hit something that I didn't understand in those interactions.
You know, and I think that if those people just understood that, maybe that's all it takes, is you explaining to them that, look, man, I'm not trying to tell you that I understand what you went through, and I understand that situation. What I am trying to tell you is that I empathize with that feeling and those emotions
Like
that you felt
it's like I get that emotion. It wasn't
Right.
caused by the same thing, but I did experience the emotion you're talking about.
Yeah, and I think that sometimes, you know, and probably not just sometimes, probably more often than not, unfortunately, like a child, you know, like an adult explaining to a child, you have to explain that to them. You know, you have to explain to them that, look, I am not trying to tell you that I understand perfectly, that I was there, that I know. I'm just empathizing with your feelings and your emotions on this matter, because I understand those. I understand that emotion. I understand that feeling of loss, unexpected loss, unwanted, unneeded loss. That's just my take on it.
No, I think
I've
you're dead right.
I've gotten a lot better over the years, though. If you guys would have met me about a year or two ago, well, honestly, we probably still wouldn't be talking.
I think we would.
Trust me. I shunned everybody and everything, including my own family. So I have gotten quite a bit better over the years, and have, I don't know, I guess learned to understand, you know, these emotions better. That's why I say it. That's where it goes back to. I truly believe that everything happens for a reason. You know, I met you guys now. You know, in this time, when I am better, when I'm, well, a hell of a lot better. You know, and you know, compared to meeting you guys in a time where, you know, we would have played a couple games and I would have been kosher for the most part, but it would not have lasted as long as this has. I would have very quickly been like, well, I don't actually need these fucking guys. These guys are just a, you know, these guys are a crutch. I don't need them here. I don't need friends. I don't need people.
You still had me like sending him, but hey, dude, what was Battleborn?
And I would have just, yeah, you know, so that's why I say, you know, that's why I believe truly that
I was gonna say, you'd have basically kicked the puppy with me, because I'd have been like, hey, you want this Battleborn? You want this video game? Do that thing we like? No, it's stupid, and I hate you.
everything's
You'd have to
stupid.
basically kick the puppy with me.
Well, so I think that just further, at least, you know, pushes me to believe that, you know, what I believe is correct, that everything happens for a reason. I met you guys now in a time when, you know, I enjoy, you know, friendship, and I see the value of having people to converse with and talk with.
I mean, this piece of the simulations programming is not so shitty.
Ones and zeros.
1100110010101010.
I literally have just got the hostile takeover 2 in a row when I have not got it before today.
Me too. That Loopocalypse shit, man. It's awesome.
Has that shit even started? No, it has not even started.
No, the discounts haven't started yet. The Loopocalypse has been going on. They're just extending it.
Well, also you have to remember that one of the last patches that they did increased the drop of legendaries and decreased what it takes to get gold medals on missions. So
yet I still can't get it on Renegade. Fuck.
Well, that team wasn't we didn't have the greatest teammates in the world, and when before we even got to the second hold and defend area,
This would be a gold either.
we only had 20,000 points, and I knew right then and there that there was no way. Wow, a bronze? Jesus.
We were talking though.
We got two legendaries.
Like we were basically doing a JRE episode while trying to play a game.
Pretty much.
Unadvanced.
We
Like,
pretty much
we were getting into
this.
like some deep shit. Like we were getting into like some deep, like all that was streamed too, by the way. So
yeah. Well,
yeah,
actually,
like, we were
before
basically live podcasting, so while playing. So if our play was shitty, who cares?
Before it goes any further, though, I'm going to have to go ahead and cut it off, though. Well,
Really?
yeah, I gotta get in bed, dude. I gotta be up at 5:30.
Yeah, you're right.
But we can do it again very soon. Tomorrow, if it's good for you guys.
I'm down.
I'll try. The girlfriend's off work after that, so I'll see what she wants to do. Sean, we need to play some MKX, buddy.
I don't know, but I want to stream it. All right, hang on a minute.
You gotta stream.
Hang on a minute.
I can stream it. I got my Twitch.
That's fine, but I still gotta go to bed.
Let's do it right now. Let's go.
He's like, play one after me.
Anybody that made it this long into this wacky conversation, all the fucking range of shit we talked about.
I was gonna say, if anybody held on this long, we love you guys.
Yeah, thanks for listening, and keep in touch, subscribe, and follow us, and come hang out sometime. Later, guys.